Hello and welcome, Pokemon fans. There are those who call me Bard Breaker, and it's time for another Sunday Pokemon Challenge run. Last week, we celebrated the channel reaching a full 1,000 subscribers by successfully beating Pokemon Leaf Green with only a Sunkern. And yes, that was an amazingly fun run despite the enormous obstacles Sunkern represented. With that in the books, let's keep the regional crossovers going and do another mix and match. This week we're going to ask and answer the question, can I beat Pokemon HEARTGOLD with a team of only a single Magnemite? Magnemite is a steel-electric type introduced all the way back in Generation 1 when it was just a pure electric type. No steel then. It has a base stat total of just 325, which puts us on par with Krabby, Grimer, and Execute, among some others. So not very great, but also not the worst we've ever done, by any means. We have great special attack and serviceable defense, but meh everything else. Our HP stat is pretty brutal, as is our regular attack stat. Fortunately, most electric moves are special, but most of our steel moves are physical, so it's kind of a toss-up there. Moveset-wise, we have a pretty expansive array of moves that we'll be getting by level up. Thundershock early is great, and Sonic Boom will be helpful in the early game as it ignores typing to always hit for 20 damage. Moves like Discharge and Zap Cannon are pretty nice too. We got some good choices here. By TM, it's a pretty good list as well. We learned Thunderbolt and Thunder, and more importantly, moves like Flash Cannon, one of Steel's only special attacks that we can learn. But anyway, that's enough about the moves. Let's get started with the run. As a reminder, I write the script as I go with the challenge, so at this point I haven't started playing yet. Go ahead and leave your guesses down below to please the almighty algorithm, god of the YouTube algorithm, and let me know if you think I can do this or not. I'm gonna say that I can, but our double weakness to ground moves is gonna make Earthquake an absolutely devastating attack. And finally, before we begin, here's our final look at our rules. In battle, I can only use Magnemite. I'll need other utility Pokemon for HMs, but I won't be allowed to use them in battle. I also won't be using any items in battle. Held items and items outside of battle will be allowed though. And finally, no cheats, glitches, or exploits, so let's begin. So to start the run off, I've used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Chikorita with Magnemite so that we can do the entire run with it. This way our rival will take Cyndaquil, the hardest starter for us to fight against. I nickname it Zappy, because I once again couldn't think of a nickname in advance, and I honestly didn't want to sit here forever trying to think of one. Our Magnemite is bashful nature, so no stat gains or losses. You know what, that may have been the first time we've actually gotten a neutral nature, so I'm fine with that. Our ability is the nigh-useless Magnet Pull, which apparently keeps Steel-type Pokemon from swapping out. I would have rather had Sturdy, but whatever. So we start out the run by doing the normal fetch quest that we're tasked with, and we make our way to Mr. Pokemon's house, a man who is so in love with Pokemon he's taken their last name as his own and become one with the Mon, and left the man behind. After he retrieves an egg from his personal at-home vending machine, we rush back to Elm's lab and are accosted on the way by someone on his way urgently to world domination. He's stolen the Cyndaquil from Elm's lab, but fortunately he doesn't know any fire moves yet, so we're able to Thundershock him down without any real issues. After turning over the identity of the masked Avenger who assaulted us in the street to the local constabularies, we give the egg to Professor Tree for presumably his morning omelet, and then head on our adventure. We stop immediately to catch a Hoot Hoot for Fly later, nicknaming it Flapsity the 28th, long may she fly, and a Spinnerack for Flash later, nicknaming it Flashelius the 28th, long may she shine, and finally a Rattata for Cut later, nicknaming it Snipticus the 28th, long may he cut, and make our way to Violet City. After dispatching all the clerics in Sprout Tower, we accidentally run into the gym thinking it was the Pokemon Center. It's okay though, it's a flying gym and we don't even need to heal before the fight. Faulkner goes down in exactly 3 Thundershocks, only getting off a weak Tackle. From there we move forward, replacing Tackle with Sonic Boom. Once we arrive in Azalea Town and break up the makeout session, we run Team Rocket out of Slowpoke Well and make a run for Bugsy's gym. And we quickly Thundershock down his entire team too. Scyther is weak to electric attacks, and his Metapod and Kakuna can't really do anything to us with Tackle and Poison Sting, so we shock our way to a victory and then take on our rival Tim west of town. After Ghastly barely survives a Thundershock, we bring it down only to do little damage to Quilava. It doesn't seem to want to hit us with a fire move yet, so we Metal Sound it down to bring it down with a second Thundershock. Zubat is part flying, so of course it stands no chance to a Thundershock. Once we rescue the lost Farfetch'd, we make our way to the annoying vertical Goldenrod City and head straight for the department store. On the 6th floor, there is a lottery that for 300 Pokédollars you can enter a drawing and win either a berry, a special Pokéball, or a TM that's different every day. We have to keep trying a few times since it's only a 10% chance to win the TM, but since it's Tuesday, we can win the TM for Flash Cannon, an 80 power steel move that in addition to being the same type attack bonus, also has a chance to lower the special defense of the opponents. This is a great move and will likely be with us the rest of the way. I immediately replace Sonic Boom. I'm keeping Supersonic for a later problem that I see we may have coming. I make our way to the normal gym and quickly Flash Cannon our way through Whitney's Pokemon without incident. We have to give her time to come down from her cry session, though, before she hands us our badge, but once we do, it's off to the races again. We head north of town, and as it's still Tuesday, I take part in the bug catching contest. I immediately encounter and catch a pincer and successfully catch it without inflicting damage. This is critical because I then immediately end the contest and win the bug catching contest with ease. Had I attacked this down and lowered its HP, we would have gotten less points and probably not won the competition. We receive a Sunstone, which, come to think of it, I actually don't need, but I nicknamed the pincer Bicepticus the 28th. Long may she lift. Now we have something for strength later. We get to Ecruteak City and we can't quite handle our rival in Burnt Tower yet, so we need to level up a wee bit. After venturing down to Olivine City and fighting most of the trainers and getting sent on Package Delivery Simulator again for Jasmine, we go back to Ecruteak to take on the rival in Burnt Tower. We can't use Surf outside of battle until we defeat Morty, so we have to do this now anyway. And Morty represents no challenge at all now. We easily flash cannon or charge our way past his entire team. We did get a little lucky and we dodged a couple of hypnosi, but we emerged victorious anyway. With that victory, we're now able to surf outside of battle, so I head back to Olivine and catch ourselves a Staryu for our oceanic adventures, nicknaming it Aquades the 28th, long may they swim, and then remember that we still need the HM for surf from back in Ecruteak, so once we take care of that, now I can surf to Cianwood. And once there, I go to Shady Sam's super secret potion shack and get Ampharos' medicine. But we take the opportunity while we're here to also swing by the fighting gym and take on Chuck. He still just has 2 Pokemon in this generation, and we easily take him down without incident in just a few discharges. We even get put to sleep against the Poliwrath, but we weather a surf and a body slam fairly well, and from there it's another easy victory. Magnemite is really cruising this run. We fly back to Olivine and relight the lighthouse, and even though it's the middle of the day, we've saved Olivine's civilization as we know it. From here, we have a couple of options, but the immediate option isn't really something we can do yet, as Jasmine is a Steel Gym Leader who will resist or be immune to both of our moves. I'll definitely need to be a higher level for her. We first defeat the Red Tide Gyarados, and then pick up the TMs for both Hidden Power and Secret Power, neither of which were exactly hidden or secretly placed, and then we test our Hidden Powers typing. A super effective result on the Pidgeotto instantly narrows it down to either Ice, Rock, or Electric, and then a normal result on Magikarp tells me that we have the Rock Hidden Power. That isn't going to help us at all right now with Jasmine, but it could be useful later, especially if we have any difficulty with fire types. As usual, we swiftly take care of Team Rocket in their hideout. They're never really a significant obstacle in these Johto runs, and they mostly serve to just waste my time, and then we book it straight for the Ice Gym. Once there, we challenge Price, and he's an easy one-shot sweep between discharges and flash cannon. No real issues here at all. Now though, we do have an obstacle. We really only have Jasmine at the ground gym left to do at this point, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it. We can try it though. And yes, she takes a few tries of repeatedly getting beaten down, but after I equip the choice specs to boost our special attack by 50%, we go into the battle just using Flash Cannon over and over, and in actually just a couple of attempts, we suddenly knock out the Steelix and beat Jasmine. I legit had to go back and watch it again. I didn't know what happened. We just did so much damage against the Steelix, those choice specs must really have helped. That was definitely an unexpectedly easy victory. I really and fully thought Jasmine was going to be really hard for us to deal with the moveset that we can learn. Afterwards, we're sent on Filler Quest, the motion picture, as we have to run Team Rocket out of Goldenrod Radio Tower, and along the way we have another rival fight with Tim. But it goes about as well as you'd expect. A boosted Flash Cannon runs down his entire team in about 10 seconds. After clearing Team Rocket out once and for all, we make our way through the ice path and make our way to Blackthorn City. And Claire is being obtuse and difficult, so let's try a few levels and try again. After grinding up to level 58, I try again, and after a few attempts, I finally get a run where we can crit the Dragonair to get past it without being hit with paralysis, which in turn allows us to easily bring down the Kingdra and then her final Dragonair to quickly secure another badge. We are really cruising here with Magnemite. I did not think we were going to be going this fast through this much of the game. We aren't ready for the Pokemon League yet. We have to beat the Kimono Girls, and then once we do that, we have to go climb the Bell Tower to fight off Ho-Oh, which I think is actually the first time I've ever encountered one before. I've never actually played Heart Gold before this run, and in Gold and Silver, you don't actually have to encounter the box legendaries to beat the game. Once we knock out Ho-Oh with nearly a one-shot, we're able to head into Kanto and proceed through Victory Road, where we have one last rival fight with Tim, who once again predictably is a complete one-shot through his entire team. On to the Elite Four. Psychic Trainer Will is up first, and half of his team is weak to electric moves, so with our choice specs, we just use Discharge on his entire team. His Executor is actually the only one who doesn't go down to one hit, as it survives and puts us to sleep with Hypnosis. It wasn't too bad though, even though it hits us with a critical psychic. We managed to persevere through it though, and once we wake up, we can discharge to victory. Yeah, you can make whatever innuendos there you want. Koga the Poison Master is next, and he's almost not worth mentioning. Only Fortress gets off a hit, and it just hits us weakly with a Swift. Crobat did outspeed us, and it could have hit us, but it just sets up Double Team. Otherwise, Koga was an easy one-shot with Flash Cannon. We heal up the Swift damage and head into Bruno. And Bruno, like usual, is also not that difficult. We can one-shot his first 4 Pokemon with a Flash Cannon each, but his Machamp is a problem and we can't one-shot it, and it can one-shot us though with a Cross Chop. It's only 80% accurate though, so if we can get a miss, we should be able to pull something out. Finally though, we just get a run where it rolls super low on its damage range and we survive and are able to get off our last Flash Cannon and bring him down. Cruising through the Elite Four, next up is Karen, the Dark-type trainer, and she's an immediate brick wall with her second Pokemon, Houndoom. We don't outspeed it, and it can regularly one-shot us with a Flamethrower. Okay, yeah, I don't have a lot of options here, I'm just gonna have to level up. After using 5 Rare Candy, I try again at level 70, and while the Umbreon is still not a consistent one-shot, the Houndoom is now slower than us, and we can one-shot it. From there, we easily bring down the rest of her team, though. Interesting note, her Gengar knows Focus Blast. I love when types like Ghost are immune to other types like Fighting, but they can still learn fighting moves themselves. Doesn't exactly make sense to me. Whatever. In any case, we move our way into Lance the Champion's Bachelor Pad and take on the Dragon Master. We've elixired up and healed up and bring our discharge to bear on Lance, and he easily goes down in about 15 seconds. Gyarados and Charizard are both weak to discharge, and while it's neutral on his Dragonites, they too don't really pose an obstacle for us. We even wind up paralyzed and low on health heading into Aerodactyl. I do lose a couple of turns to Paralysis, but he doesn't seem to take advantage of it, and we bring down his Flying Rock. One of those type pairings that makes total sense in my opinion. And there we go. We've legitimately just beaten Lance and get our Magnemite into the Hall of Fame. I don't know how much real time I put into this, but it really wasn't that much. This was a very quick run. We've just beaten HEARTGOLD with just Magnemite. But the story isn't over there yet though. We still have some post-game Kanto stuff to breeze through, so let's try for the major fight against Blue and then Red, and we'll see what happens with those. So before we get to Red, we have the usually difficult fight against Blue in the Viridian City Gym. I've taught Substitute over Supersonic after winning enough coins on that stupid Voltorb flip minigame in Goldenrod Game Corner. I set up a Substitute on the Executor, and from there we use our tried and true Flash Cannon and Discharge to bring down Blue in really short order. We absolutely needed a Substitute too, as the Arcanine was outspeeding us and usually one-shot us with fire moves. We also fortunately were able to get past the Machamp, which could easily have devastated us with our Steel typing. Again, I don't know why Steel is weak to fighting, that just doesn't make sense to me. We finally make our way up to Mount Silver and onto Red. And okay, yeah, we're not doing it at this level. There's hail damage up this high, and the Pikachu has a light orb to give it a 50% boost in damage. And then the Charizard outspeeds us. I'm dubious if we could outspeed it by leveling up, but I'm gonna have to try it. So I spend a bit of time leveling up in the Elite Four. It actually goes relatively quickly thanks to their improved teams giving more experience. I decided to just go for level 100 and get it over with. The trek up Mount Silver is a lot longer in this one than it is in Gen 2, so I don't want to have to come back down and level up more. And okay, no, even at level 100, we are not faster than the Charizard. You know what guys, I think I'm going to call it there. I just don't think we can do this. I can't use Attract in this one since we're genderless. Double Team could help, but I'd have to play a bunch of more Voltorb Flip to get it, and it's not worth it in my mind. Beyond that, I don't see a lot of options here. I thought about trying Rain Dance to end the hail, which would then reduce the flamethrower damage from Charizard, but we're still going to take 2 Volt Tackles before we can even get to Charizard. And once we've taken 2 Volt Tackles, it isn't going to matter how much damage the flamethrower does, we're not going to survive it. Yeah, I'm really just not seeing a way out here. Magnemite just doesn't have the move pool we need or the stats to get past this Pikachu's Volt Tackle. It's possible there's a solution that I'm missing, but I'm not seeing it. Let me know if you all have any strategies down in the comments. Maybe I'll try them out and revisit this challenge in the future. For now though, I think that's going to be all for me guys. Thanks so much for watching. This was a really surprisingly quick and easy run. Be sure to join me and your fellow fans in the Discord server at the link in the description, and until next week's challenge, feel free to leave your suggestions down below or in the Discord. I haven't decided on what I'm going to do yet, so I look forward to reading your suggestions as always. Until next time guys, have fun and go catch 'em all.